Good evening, Pro Life Jet. It's almost midnight. It's almost Saturday. So now's the time to come to you with the news from today, Friday, June 16th. It's been a busy day. Do not judge how I look. The fact that I'm coming to you at 11:30 means I want to make sure you get this news at some point this weekend, even if you're in bed. Lucky you already. All right, so the gist of what I want to talk to tonight about is how the left loves late-term abortion. I'm going to start with a clip from the UK. There's a situation today where a mother took in her third trimester. Her child, her little girl, was born dead, not breathing, not her heart wasn't beating because her mother had ingested chemical abortion pills legally, even though it's against the law to use chemical abortion pills in the third trimester anywhere. It's incredibly dangerous to women. The judge in the case in the UK sentenced the mother to jail because she openly violated the law. And then the judge has been calling for, well, it kind of made it sound like she didn't really want to do it, but she was following the law. So there's this huge debate in the UK about whether or not abortion, when a child can clearly survive, and many children who are born do survive and live wonderful, amazing lives, who are walking around this earth, the left thinks that abortion should be legal for those children. So I'm going to play you a clip of say going on the TV there.
Oh, Janie, I don't know who else that you've been interviewed by who accepts this. You've got a considered view. You campaign on this issue. Mm-hmm. Answer the question. I'm 8 months pregnant. I've decided I've changed my mind. I don't want to have my baby. My baby is perfectly viable. It's kicking, moving inside me. Do I have the right, because it's just healthcare, to abort my baby and face no criminal repercussions? Yes or no?
Yes, and you should not face criminal repercussions. This is a decision for you, and it's for medical experts.
Sod the baby.
And nurses.
Sod the baby.
Wow. That was massive. That's a news anchor calling the abortion lobby to account for taking a position that 90% of kids, and I'm sure 90% of people just around the world, find grotesque and immoral, saying that a child who's 33 weeks, so 9 months to be born with there should be no consequences for that. I often hear when I'm on college campuses that late-term abortions, that there's no abortions happening in the third trimester of pregnancy, and no one wants to have those abortions. I would save this clip for the next time you are in a debate with someone to argue with you that no one's actually for late-term abortions. The left is for late-term abortions, and that's what they've done a full court press on this week in the UK for. There's multiple media clips that I choose from. There was another clip that I saw this where the anchor was pro-abortion, and she was grilling the guest who was clearly, saying there's something wrong. Everyone should, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice on abortion, everyone knows that there's something wrong with killing a baby when a baby can clearly survive in the womb. And the anchor kept looking at her and said that every child has to be wanted in order to be born. There's too many unwanted, as if that was justification for killing you. I mean, what happens if a child is wanted and then 3 weeks later the mother decides the child or is too hard to handle, isn't wanted, justified killing the baby then? We would all say no, absolutely not. Just because you went from wanting a child to now not wanting a child doesn't change the child's innate dignity and value and the child's right to life. Duh. Another story happening. It's not coming up, but I'll tell you about it. So in North Carolina, Tricia Cotham is a Democrat. She switched parties this term, and she actually as a Republican after she switched from Democrat to Republican term. What was interesting was she gave a floor speech in 2015 about how she needed abortion care when she found out that her child wasn't going to survive, and her and it sounded like it was a scary situation for her. Obviously, she's now come out and said that she actually didn't have an abortion. And so I think this is really interesting. We need to be very careful about this. We saw Chrissy Teigen say this a couple, actually last June after Dobbs' decision. If you pay attention to pop culture, Chrissy Teigen and her husband John Legend, they had a child who was born around 26, 28 weeks, did not survive. It was a miscarriage, incredibly tragic. Because she's a social media person, she documented the whole thing. We all knew she had a tragic miscarriage. Then when the Dobbs decision comes out to be like popular or something, she said that she had had a late-term abortion and needed one. She didn't have an abortion. She had a tragic miscarriage. I think we need to, and I think it's pretty sad to see that the left tries to conflate a tragic late-term miscarriage with a late-term abortion. They're not the same thing. Yes, a miscarriage is medically spontaneous abortion, vastly different than a direct abortion. Abortion is the ending of a pregnancy. And natural miscarriage, I don't even hate to say the word natural because it's terrible, but a miscarriage that takes place at no fault of the mother, not because the mother's ingested any drugs or paid anyone to end life for a child, is vastly different than a direct abortion where there is much change and the goal of the physician is to stop a beating heart, to end life. That's vastly different. And I think the left needs to stop using the tragedy of miscarriage to call for legalization of abortion all throughout pregnancy, which is what they're doing. We all know that Democrats have no shame at all when it comes to advocating for abortion. Okay, so the last article I want to share with you about how the left loves late-term abortion. So the Women's Health Protection Act has come back up. It's already been passed twice in the House. It was passed twice before the 2022 election. Now they want to use a procedural maneuver, which is called a discharge petition. So if you're in the majority in the House of Representatives, you get to set the stage for what gets voted on. That's why the Speaker of the House is so important, because the Speaker gets to determine what bills get voted on and all. There's a lot of debate about whether or not that should be true. But anyway, if you can get 218 members of the House, so that's a little bit over, right? If you can get 218 members of the House for what's called a discharge petition, you can override basically the will of the Speaker, and you can get a vote on the floor without the Speaker being able to stop it. So the Democrats passed the House Women's Health Protection Act twice in 2022. This is, they say we're just codifying Roe. They're actually not codifying. Women's Protection Act would make abortion legal in all 9 months of pregnancy for whatever reason and fully taxpayer funded. So it would actually go far, far beyond Roe versus Wade. That's why I was upset in the past couple of weeks when CNN kept saying, "Oh, Joe Biden is only supportive of Roe, of codifying Roe." No, Joe Biden has actually issued an endorsement of the Women's Health Protection Act. And I'm not a moron. I can read, and if you read the bill, it would allow abortion up until the moment of birth for whatever reason, taxpayer well beyond 20 weeks or 20 or 22 weeks. That CNN kept trying to claim, and from a national audience, what Uncle Joe, bad grandpa's abortion position really is. But anyway, let's go back to Capitol Hill. So this is a terrible bill. The left wants to bypass speaking, and they want to get the vote up to the floor. You may be saying, well, we'll be okay because the Republicans have a majority. Republicans have a majority. And earlier this week, 10 Republicans actually voted against the REINS Act, which would have required the Biden administration to get congressional approval before their bureaucracy would implement regulations that would advance abortion using taxpayer dollars, reining in the bureaucracy of the federal government. 10 Republicans voted against that. 10 means they have a path. The Democrats know it. Nancy Mace, she says she's pro-life when she's in South Carolina, but the congresswoman, she's one of the ones that voted against the REINS Act. She's kind of been leading the charge. Her district, she's getting redistricted, but she's running for other office already. So she's been making the rounds in Washington, D.C. and trying to become a moderate pro-life woman on abortion and trying to call for a truce on abortion, basically be pro-abortion. Nancy Mace was one of those 10. So this is the concerning point. While Democrats don't have 218 votes to get this discharge petition to the floor, they would convince these 10 Republicans to sign that. If they vote for the discharge petition, they're also going to vote for the Women's Health Protection Act, which would go far, be far worse than what Roe versus Wade ever did. So stay tuned. I have a feeling they're going to try to get this to come up this coming week because, as you know, 1 week from tomorrow will be Saturday, June 24th. That will be the 1 anniversary of the Dobbs decision, which tossed Roe versus Wade onto the ash heap of history. I hope, by the way, you're planning on joining me at the Lincoln Memorial next Saturday for a rally with pro-life leaders across the country: Lila Rose, Marjorie Dannenfelser, so Live Action's SBA list, Carney of 40 Days for Life, Dr. Alveda King. Also have a very special guest, if you go to nationalcelebratelifeday.com right now, who's on that website, who actually hasn't been announced yet, who will be announced on Monday morning. So I'm really excited for next Saturday. I hope you'll join us at the Lincoln Memorial free rally. You can also join the live stream. I have no idea how you can join the live stream. I don't see it on the website, but I know they will be carrying it. Live Action will be carrying it on their Facebook pages. You can also do a gala that night, honoring the past leaders and heroes of the pro-life movement. Not a fundraiser. So I hope you come out to watch and see. It's going to be an epic day because we did something that everyone said was impossible to do, and we're going to be there to celebrate. We're going to be there to celebrate the tens of thousands of lives that have been saved this year and saved in years to come, and talk about what's next in the pro-life movement. So have a great Friday night, or what's left of it. We've got 18 minutes until tomorrow, and have a great week.